So I'm joined today by Damian Bowen, who's Director of IT and Client Support Services at NTT Data, who were the winners of the Small Service Desk, Best Small Service Desk at the IT Service and Support Awards in 2015, so this year. Hi Damian.
Hi Zoe, how are you doing?
Yeah, excellent, thank you. Thanks for joining us to come and talk about your experience. So your team, as I say, were the winners of Best Small Service Desk, and that was just this year actually. So I guess around this time last year, you were thinking about entering, or you perhaps had already started to have a look at what you might do to enter.
Yeah, we've been involved with the SDI for 3 or 4 years now, and we entered back in 2013 as just something to try. Got to the final, which was great. Didn't win, but lost out to another great service desk. We entered again in 2014, and we didn't even make the shortlist, which was a little bit frustrating from our side. But then in 2015 we understood why we didn't. We needed to put a bit more coherence together in what we do as a service desk. And in 2015, the team were really up for having another go. We thought we'd changed, we'd worked very differently, we worked very hard to put a process together. And I think it was more the support from the team and how the team wanted to do something together, which was really important to me. So the guys, they pushed, they wanted to do it, they wanted to put a lot of the effort in, they'd done most of the work themselves. So it was, from that perspective, really, we started doing it, and I find it a really good bonding exercise. So that there was no question for us entering in 2015.
Okay, well, brilliant. So you said a little bit there about your team, and I know we've got here a little bit about yourself, if we show that on the screen there. So if whilst people are having a little look at that and reading about you, just tell us how your team's set up there, just to give people an idea of the kind of service desk that you've got.
So we've got 2 service desks. We run them out of Birmingham in the UK, which is good. So we want onshore service and keeping that UK brand, which we think is really good, especially in the service industry at the moment. We've got a dedicated service desk to some of our government clients, and also what we call a shared service operation. So we support probably 30 to 40 external clients on a number of technologies through one of our service desks, as well as also supporting our internal infrastructure. So using the same tools, processes, policies, people, and general team spirit, we actually support all our internal and external users, which is, it makes us a little bit unique in one respect.
Yeah, there's sort of both sides of it going on there, and as you say, sort of very focused on the customer-centric approach, which all ties in really with your entry, I suppose, and how that was approached. So if we go, I mean, you talked a little bit about why you've entered this year and the previous experiences that you had. So, I mean, I guess the question is, does it matter what stage you're at when you're thinking about entering? Is it something that, you know, you'd say you were at a particular kind of place at the time when you thought, you know, this is something we really got to get involved with, or was it more a case of, you know, doing the awards to kind of to get to that next step of where you'd like to be, and to kind of try and push things on a little bit?
Yeah, I think where we came from is we knew where we were. We knew we did things well. But we just wanted to. I mean, if you look at the picture on the screen, it's fantastic. It's exhilarating what the guy's doing there, but also very risky. I mean, any minute he could fall. But when he reaches the top, he's going to get a feeling of, you know, total euphoria. So I don't think it does matter where you are, as long as your team are into it. And it's got to be supported from the top, but also from the team itself. So it actually works both ways, and I think that's what pulls it together. So as long as you've got a service desk that operate as a team, I think it doesn't matter how good or bad you think you are, how good or bad your customers think you are. I think you've got to go for it and take that little bit of a risk, because if you can get to the top, trust me, it feels absolutely fantastic.
Absolutely, and that, you know, takes us on to the next question. Really was. You know, before we go on to that one, actually, how you found the process, and, you know, were there any challenges along the way that obviously anything that you do like this is going to involve a little bit of work, but like you said, the team were all involved, and I guess that made it more of a team exercise.
Yeah, I mean, it was without question a team exercise. I mean, don't get me wrong in this, being open and honest, it's a tough process.
Mm.
So you know at the end of the day, you know when you win, you win. It's like, as you
Yes, it
saw from
means
the slide.
something.
Yeah, absolutely. You saw from the slide about me at the beginning,
Mm.
from a karate perspective, you know if you get a black belt, you know you've achieved something. But trust me, it's hard work on the way, and it's the same with this. The process is hard, it's tough, but you know when you get to the end result, even if you get to the final, you know that you've gone through 3 or 4 different processes. You've had visits, you've done videos, you've embarked on a document, you've had to do a
Yeah,
presentation. You know, you don't win this just by clicking a few boxes and say you want to enter an award.
yeah.
It is tough, but if you involve the team, it is so rewarding.
Absolutely, and you mentioned things like putting together a submission, but also the video as well, and that's something that a lot of people say actually becomes a really fun exercise and a really almost like motivating in itself for the team to have those kind of things to be given to them to do and to take part in.
Yeah, the video it is really good fun. As long as you set out your story at the beginning, it's great fun. And then when it comes up, the nerves when it comes up on that big screen. I mean, you watch it on PC monitors and TVs in your office,
Yeah,
but when it's on a screen that's like 15 foot high by 20 foot wide, you do look at it and go, oh my God. But then when it plays at the end and you see the team nodding their head to it, it's
yeah.
fantastic. I mean, we can't enter the Small Service Desk Awards this year because obviously we've won it. But we're actually still thinking as a team building exercise of making another video
Okay,
just
yeah, something you might carry
ourselves as a
on.
team.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, that is always, I have to say, from feedback, one of the most popular parts of the actual awards evening. So for anybody that doesn't know, as part of the awards gala dinner, we show these kind of fun 2-minute videos that all the finalists have made, and it really is something that's so lovely and so kind of motivating about those. They're so much fun. So back to the actual award itself. I mean, the next question really is, you did all of that work, you pulled it all together, and then you found out that you'd won. What was the reaction like from your team?
Oh, it's really hard to put into words. I mean, on the night
Mm.
when you're sitting there and they're about to announce the final, you can see everyone who's in the final. You can see their heads go down, thinking, "Is it us? Is it us?" And then when it is, the sheer release is it's just a feeling that you can't describe unless you're actually
Yeah. Well,
there and
we've got a nice photo here
with
of
it.
the team getting the
Yeah, and I mean
award.
you can see there's a lot of happy, smiling faces there, which is fantastic because each and every one of those on the stage had an input into the whole process,
Okay,
which
yeah,
was fantastic, and to
yeah.
get the team there for it was brilliant.
Excellent. Okay, and then thinking about kind of after the actual day itself and the award, the physical award, did anything else change when you all, got back to work, you get back into kind of business as usual? Was there a feeling that kind of lasted, that stuck with you?
Yeah, it's still there to today when the awards come out, and the guys are a little bit disappointed that we can't go for it, but it's just one of those things. The exposure that the service desk got within NTT Data as a UK and European, but also global organisation. So
Yeah.
that team of there's 12 people on that picture, 12, 13 people. We're getting emails from our 10,000 seat service desk and service centre in India and North America saying, can you
Wow.
please explain to us how you've won this award from
Wow.
that little city in England called Birmingham.
Yeah, fantastic. So that, I mean, that's a real, yeah, something to really think about, isn't it? People thinking, is this just for us? Is it just for ourselves? It's actually, it can really get out there and make it, visible to internally and externally. I guess, and at the very beginning of the very front slide, I had the logo, and those are given out to the winners so they can kind of advertise, promote, their achievement in that way. So I think that's what the next question is going to be really about. So you talked a little bit about the recognition that you got, and also more towards the beginning, you were talking about the team spirit and the kind of sense of working together and motivation, really. And is that something that's continued as well?
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely, and it's also we're growing as a company,
Mm.
so when we bring new candidates in from an interview process, we actually ask some of the team members to help interview
Okay.
and get involved in the process. And to see some 21, 22-year-olds going, we're now part of an award-winning team. How would you help us maintain that spirit and enable us to win an award going future? And you think, wow, so the impact on those guys in the team, especially the young members throughout the rest of their career is fantastic. And people have actually said one of the reasons they've joined us is because they like our ambition and that they'd like to be part of an award-winning team.
Yeah, absolutely. So it can be used in all kinds of ways, I guess, really.
Yeah.
And as you say, it's that sense of pride as well. So what's happened to, I mean, I know it wasn't that long ago, really, and we're in November almost now, but we are, as I say, looking towards the next year's awards. But, in that time in between, are there any plans that NTT Data have got that you can share with us?
Yeah, so since winning the award, we've also done the SDI certification, and we received a 3-star audit there. We're now working towards our recertification and hoping and planning to go to 4-star, because I set a goal for the team, and this is what I quite enjoy about working with the SDI. About 4 or 5 years ago, I set a goal for the team about us being recognised as world class. And then I looked at how are we gonna know that we've been recognised as world class? And then with the SDI certification, that 5-star, the definition of it is world class. So that's absolutely something that we're embarking on now.
Yeah, very clear goal. And actually, so both these things, awards, certification, it all tied in with your strategy in the first place, which is, I guess, the way it needs to be. It can't just be, an extra little thing that you kind of. It's nice to do, but really, the way it has a bigger effect is if it's part of your vision for where you're going for the future.
Yeah, and it's like anything. Winning an award is fantastic, but it's the kudos it gives you within the organisation. So now, as we, a lot of our business is external as well.
Yeah.
Our account managers, our sales team, they're all involved in the service desk, and as you mentioned, Zoe, we get a logo. To put a logo into bids and to put a logo on your email signature, it's just fantastic, and it creates a spirit. And now the service desk in Birmingham, we got our European sales guys are talking to them about how they can exploit what we've done to actually try and help our end customers. And what was fantastic about it for us as well is some of our customers were actually there on the night we won the award, which was just unbelievable.
Yeah, fantastic for them to see you up there, and to have that sense of kind of like you said, excitement and visibility, also to be able to genuinely promote something that you've all personally been involved with, and you've actually been kind of genuinely excited about. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's working with a team that 100% behind you, and actually some of the time 100% in front of you is phenomenal. And the question on the screen there, what are NTT Data IT services embarking on next? We do want to go for the managed service desk. At some point, we want to grow the team so we can go for the large service desk as well.
Yeah, that's the next one on the list.
It's a continuing journey about where we want to be, what we want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, thinking about, as I say, next year, coming up fast, people are thinking about entering their service desk for the best small desk award, or any of the awards, in fact. What would you say to them? Would you recommend going through that process?
Yeah, so a couple of things. If it's okay with you, Zoe, I'd like to do a bit of a recommendation, also a bit of advice as well.
Yes, of course, yeah.
From a recommendation perspective, absolutely. If you want to bond your team together and you believe in the team and the team believe in what they do, because support is a unique industry to be in. We tend to spend all day getting complained to, but feeling so rewarded when we resolve those complaints. And it's a way that the industry recognises that, which I think is phenomenal. We see all these technology awards all over the place, but the people in support need this, and I think it will support as an organisation going forward, or as a part of a business going forward, is growing, it's changing, it's getting a lot of momentum in the industry. So without question, I would go for this award. The advice I'd give is plan it though. Yeah. You need to plan it and look at what makes you unique, because it's a tough process. But when you win, you know you are the right team to win, because you know, you've got to go through so many hoops, but they are all rewarding. I mean, for example, the presentation day. I actually categorically said I'm not doing the presenting. My service desk manager was ill on the day, so so one of the service desk leads and one of our analysts was there. You know, 21-year-old guy, and they were loving it. And to see that spirit, it didn't matter if he won or lost at that point. On his CV, for the rest of his life, he can say he tried to help NTT Data win an award, and he was a key part of it, and which was great. So the spirit is fantastic.
Excellent, and in a way, you know, perhaps that's the best way to go for it. You know, we talked about getting the whole team involved, but really giving them a bit more ownership even, and that's, you know, that sounds like a brilliant way to do it. So basically, planning and really thinking it through, that means getting involved early, really. So as I say, you know, now is the time to start submitting. So anyone listening who is thinking about doing this, you know, please have a look at the criteria. Start to think about, as Damian says, think about how you're going to manage it and who's going to be involved, and really take a look at what you're going to do to get those submissions in. And we've not got long. We've got another slide here just showing you the address you can go to have a look. All the criteria are on there, but as it says, you do need to get those in before the 8th of January. So yeah, just a couple of months to go, and that's for the actual sort of entry closing dates. So, you know, there is a few things to do after that, as Damian has implied, but really, you know, if that's all planned out and you've got, you know what you're going for and you know why you're doing it, it really can be a rewarding process, as you say. So I really would encourage everyone to go and have a look, take a look at the different criteria, and work out how you're going to get your submissions in. So thank you so much, Damian, for sharing your experience with us and your advice.
No problem at all. And I was going to say, Zoe, if, obviously via yourself, if anyone does go for the awards and wants to contact me directly or anything, that I have absolutely no problem in helping support this industry and the Service Desk Institute. But if you contact through Zoe, and Zoe will put you in touch with me, that would be great.
Absolutely, right, yeah, and we'll get something up with this video alongside that's got a contact email address for everybody to get in touch. So, as I say, thanks a lot, Damian. I will let you go, and all the best for next year and everything that NTT Data's getting involved with and doing.
Okay, and thank you, Zoe, for the interview, all the arranging and the support the SDI have given us as an